In this video, I'm going to show you how you can do property investing with no money. My name's Simon Zutshi. I'm the founder of the Property Investors Network. I'm the author of Property Magic, the Amazon #1 property bestseller. I've been investing for 25 years and teaching other people like you how to become successful investors since 2003. Now, very often I get asked by people, how can you invest in property with no money? Well, let's talk about some of the reality here and then share with you some of the creative financing strategies you can use so you can invest in property with no money. So first of all, when you buy an investment property, typically you get a 75% buy-to-let mortgage and then you get a 25% deposit you put into the property. Now, this is where most people struggle because they realize that with the resources they have, at some point, they're gonna run out of deposit money. You might be at a point where you have no money to start with and you think, how on earth am I going to invest? Let me let you into a couple of secrets here. So first of all, whilst some money is usually required for most property investment purchases, it doesn't have to be your money. So there are a couple of ways of you funding deals using none of your own money. First of all, let's say you find a good investment property. Now, it does need to be a good deal. It's not just something that's available for sale on Rightmove. It needs to be a really good deal. What we mean by that is maybe it's at a discount, maybe there's a really good cash flow, a great return on investment, something that will be attractive to someone who's got the money, and they then might be prepared to invest with you on what we call a joint venture. So you educate yourself to find what's a good deal, you get out, you find it. In the same time, you're looking for people who might have money, but they don't have the time, the knowledge, or the inclination to do it themselves. So you find the deal, they put the money in, you have a joint venture, and so you share the cash flow and you share the equity growth on the property. It's a great way to get going. The problem is it's quite expensive. If you think about it, if you own this property for a number of years, you're giving away maybe half the profit, that can cost a lot of money. So a more cost-effective way is finding someone who will just lend you the money and they get a return for their money. Now, very often when we talk about this, people think, oh, I don't like the idea of asking other people for money, and you should never do that. Instead of going to someone that what might feel like cap in hand saying, oh, can I have some money to invest? You should go to them and saying, look, I'm looking for someone who wants to share some of my profit. I've got some great property deals. I'm looking for someone who wants to make more on their money than they'd make in the bank. And that's kind of how I'm summarizing and making it very quick here for you, but that's the essence of how you raise private funds. There are also other ways of investing using very little of your own money. For example, there are strategies such as purchase lease options, where you control a property. You don't actually buy it, but you get the cash flow and equity for growth from a property you don't even own. How can you do that? Well, fundamentally, what it means is someone who wants to sell their property because they don't want the hassle anymore, you take the property on, it stays in their name, but you pay them a certain amount each month to cover their mortgage and a little bit of profit. You rent it out at a higher rate and you get the profit there. So you can control a property you don't own. And there are lenders, commercial lenders, who will give you all the money you need to do those deals. It's not as much as a 25% deposit, but there might be £5,000 to £10,000. You can borrow that money and then you can pay it back from the cash flow from the property deal. So it must be a good deal. Then there's vendor finance. This is where someone doesn't want to do an option, they just want to get the property sold, but they sell it to you, they don't need all the money, so they lend you the deposit to buy it. Now, this needs to be done in the correct way, so it's all legal and above board. Generally, you buy it with bridging because a normal lender wouldn't want to do that. Once you've owned it for 6 or 9 months, hopefully added value to the property, you then refinance it onto a normal mortgage and pay the money to the lender. So these are just a few of the ways you can use creative financing to fund deals using none of your own money. So if you want to buy property with no money, these are some of the strategies you can use. Now, I actually have some online training all about this. If you'd like to click on the link, you can come and benefit from this free training to learn a lot more about how you can invest in property with none of your own money. My name's Simon Zutshi. I encourage you as ever to invest with knowledge, invest with skill. Oh, by the way, if you like this video, please like it so other people get to see it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, and it means whenever we bring a new video out, you'll get notified and you'll be able to benefit from this free property training. I hope today has inspired you and shown you, even if you have no money, you can still invest in property as long as you learn how to find great property deals. And I've got lots of videos on this YouTube channel to teach you all about how you can do that. So invest with knowledge, invest with skill. I'll see you in the next video.